Diane and Denmark here. Good morning and rah rah rah. It is Thursday, or Little Friday as we call it here in Denmark. I hope you're fine and well this morning. I'm channeling my granny this morning. This colour, Kelly green, this was my granny's favourite colour. And quite often actually I wear this this top with my granny's crystals. Anyway, I'm channeling my granny, so I'm feeling very productive today. My granny was very dynamic. Anyway, checking with you today for day 9 of our 40-day declutter challenge. Now remember, we're just going for one item, but as you saw yesterday, sometimes you're just looking for one thing and then suddenly it snowballs and you've got a whole bag of things. And I want to speak to you today about occasion wear. And it is, occasion wear is things that you wear occasionally. And I've got a whole bag of things which I have Go Me, which I've decided to part with, and I've packed them all nicely. But I'll tell you, and I'll show you the pictures because I've got photos of these items. Now these things, I'm going to take them to Lidkøb to sell. Now I've made a video about Lidkøb before. I'll put the link up there. Basically, it's a bit like having, it's like an indoor flea market, but you put your items for sale, they all get security tags on it, so nobody can run off with it in the shop. And then you just kind of come home, you've set the prices, what you want to sell it for, and you just leave it there for the month, and after the month you can see what's sold and what hasn't sold. You don't need to be standing there in the shop, and people who can come into the shop, it's just like going into a regular shop, you pick up, you have a look, you try on things, and it's not just clothes they have household stuff as well, kids things, and then they can go up to the cash desk and buy it. So the items I have today, and I'll just tell you what I've got in here. I've got a black leather dress, and these were items which I had put away in a box because I'm a type 1-4 in the Dressing Your Truth system. And I put these items away because I knew I wouldn't be using them again, but I was and I've checked with my daughter doesn't want them. She's actually a type 4, 2 in the Dressing Your Truth system, and she doesn't want them. She's actually kept a couple of the things, but these things we're ready to part with. So black leather dress, and I had thought about, I could do the leather painting thing. I've changed a few items that I've got, but the dress actually doesn't suit, so that's going. I've also got silver, what do you call it, paillet, it's called in Danish, sequin dress, and the pictures are here. I've got a black and cream striped dress. I've got a red dress which is tulip shape, and I'll just say about that. Are you holding on to things, especially occasion wear, for this kind of fantasy life that you have, that you're going to be invited to all these parties? For me, the red tulip dress, I'm not going to wear it again, and I'll tell you why, because it's simply not practical. For me here in Denmark, when we go to parties, we'll often be cycling there, you'll be on your bike. Have you ever tried to bike in a tulip dress? Not the best thing, and I found out I really like jumpsuits. They also suit my figure. So anyway, the red tulip dress is going, and also a dress that I had actually for my son's confirmation that I'm just not going to wear again. It's nice, but it doesn't actually bring out the best in me. And one more thing was a pair of trainers which are white and gold, belong to my daughter. So all of those are going to Lidkøb. And if I don't get them sold at Lidkøb, where are they going to go? Yeah, they're going to go to one of our clothes swap parties. And I've got one other item for today. So just have a think about that. Are you holding on to items that you're not going to wear again? I had a really nice comment from somebody, I think it was yesterday, and she had all these kind of corporate suits that she's not using again. I'm still able to wear my jackets. I wouldn't wear like pencil skirts and stuff now, obviously not practical, and I don't like skirts in general, but I have held on to jackets and things because I can pair those, with jeans and whatever. But she had a lot of corporate suits, and she could hand them on to, now I'm probably forgetting the name, is it Dress for Success? For women who are returning to work, and and don't have the means to go out and invest in suits. So think about who can we hand these things on to. Even things like if you're one of those types that holds on to jam jars. And I have a lot of friends right now who love making marmalade, season for Seville marmalade. Maybe you can hand on some of your extra jars to a friend who's doing that. Craft supplies. What we used to do with our stuff when the kids were younger and we were finished with craft stuff, I would take them to our to the school, because we have after school clubs and they're always looking for knitting materials, even paint. Quite often we had leftovers from paint from the house. We took those because they would use that in the woodwork classes, because they were always needing stuff. So I think let's be creative. If you've got any good ideas, put them in the comments. And I've got one last item which is going out today, and this one I'm not taking to the indoor super flea market. These are, I'm going to put these for sale in my little ladies network group. I'm not comfortable with people coming to buy stuff at the house or selling on eBay and that kind of stuff. But in our little ladies network, everybody knows each other and we see each other often enough that we can kind of drop off items. And these are a funny pair, okay, here's a little laugh for you, of LED shoes that you recharge by cable, USB cable. And I'll just show you them. Are you ready? Here we go. Let's get flashy. There we are. And you can have them, you can change the colours, see whatever different colours you want, or you can go flashy, or they will flash through all different colours. So I'm sure somebody in my ladies network group might want those for the kids. I mean, they're always great for for parties and stuff. And these ones I think have been worn twice. So but don't go thinking that you have to sell your items. Let's just get them moved on to somebody who can actually use them. And let me see. Oh, okay. One more minute, and I'll let you run off. It is Thursday today in Flylady Land, Erin Day. I'm going to be checking with my friend Sue, Sue who's broken both her wrists, and I'm going over to help her out today. I'll check with her and see if she needs anything from the supermarket. And one last thing, if you've been doing your weekly home blessing hour this week, have you dealt with local newspapers, magazines, things like that? This is from our local newspaper, and you may recognise, this is Karen, Scottish Karen, and Jane. They are, in my ladies group, and you may have seen them in my videos. They've been in the clothes swap videos, and I made a video the other day about a new swimming competition that I'm going to be taking part in, which is another ice swimming competition. Yeah, go me another one. And Karen and Jane and Lindy, friends of mine, they are the organisers of it, and I'll just show you inside. There's more inside. There we are, and they're talking about winter bathing and winter swimming. And it's funny because I've got both of those swimming costumes because I'm in the same group. Anyway, time to get going. So have a fantastic little Friday. See you very soon, and keep going strong with our 40-day declutter challenge. Okay, I better give you a wee round of that. So live long, prosper, Diane should be with you, and a rah, rah, rah.